Hey friends, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Courtney, and around here we talk about all things biblical motherhood, simple homemaking, and what it means to live a life surrendered to Christ. Today I want to talk about something that's been on my heart for a while, motherhood as a ministry, and how we can find purpose in what feels like the most ordinary, unseen moments. You know, when I first became a mom, I imagined I would feel this constant sense of calling and purpose. Like, surely once I had a baby, I would feel deeply fulfilled in every moment. I think I even had the same mindset going into marriage, thinking, surely once I'm a wife, life will be so great. But the truth? Some days it is just monotonous. Some days it's thankless. And some days you feel unseen and no less full of purpose than you did before you got to becoming a mother or a wife. And honestly, some days I really wrestle with whether I'm making a difference at all. But I've come to slowly realize something. The ministry of motherhood doesn't begin when the house is clean, or when we feel put together, or when the baby stops crying. It begins when we surrender our everyday moments to God, even the ones we think don't matter. I think when we hear the word ministry, we often think of platforms or pulpits or going on mission trips, church. But really, ministry is anything we're doing to bless God's name and advance the gospel. And in God's kingdom, the unseen matters just as much, if not more. Colossians 3:23 says, "Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men." There are also so many other scriptures that talk about storing up our treasure in heaven, and even thinking about those who would pray and fast and let everybody know that they're praying and fasting with all the ash on their faces. Jesus says that their reward was in that moment. They got their reward from being seen doing those things. So the Lord has such a loving heart towards us when we do things unto Him in the unseen moments. So what are those unseen moments? That includes diapers, dishes, discipline, the thousands of decisions that we have to make in order to love and train and pour into our children. That is the ministry. That is the holy work. I have definitely been feeling this intensely recently. We have been going through a season of many transitions and lots of things that we thought were God's plan for us or God's timing that ended up being taken away or not coming to fruition. And all of this overwhelm in my mind has caused me to feel overwhelmed in my mothering. And I have noticed myself not being as patient or self-controlled towards my son. And it honestly has made me question this calling that God has placed upon my life of being a mother. But I had to rip myself out of that negative mindset and remind myself that it doesn't matter if I feel equipped at this. It doesn't matter if I feel like I know what I'm doing, or honestly, sometimes even if I'm doing it well, because God has called me to be a mother. I am a mother. And children are a blessing, not a burden. They are a heritage from the Lord. And so whether or not I feel like I know what I'm doing, whether or not I feel like I have all of the patience or self-control that I need, that is making motherhood dependent upon me. What really matters is if I am relying on the Lord to sustain me, to give me strength, to help me be patient, to give me the wisdom of what to do or say in a situation. And if I am truly trusting that this position of motherhood is a blessing from the Lord. Our homes are the first mission fields that we are given. You are the first Bible your children may ever see. You are the first Christian your children will ever meet. They are watching how we respond when we are tired and weak, how we speak when we are frustrated, as well as how we ask for forgiveness. They are looking to us for how to pray, how to worship, how to give thanks. So each moment Each correction and bedtime prayer, gentle answer is an opportunity to plant seeds of faith that will last for eternity. Now, it's easy to feel like you're just doing the next thing, whether it's wiping crumbs or switching the laundry, trying to calm a tantruming toddler. But if we really believe that God is with us, then we know that we're not just doing the next thing on our list of things to do. Our work is never wasted. I want you to know your faithfulness matters, not just in the big milestones, but in the slow and small moments. The ministry of motherhood doesn't always come with applause. It doesn't always come with feeling completely seen and known. It doesn't always come with all of the answers. But it does have an eternal impact. If today feels mundane, if you feel unseen, know that I am right there with you. Many of my days feel mundane. Many of my days feel like the same day from start to end, and not much of a variance throughout it. And many of my days, I too feel unseen, feel like I'm doing all of this mindlessly, like I'm doing all of this without purpose. But together we can remind our hearts and our minds that God does see us. He delights in our obedience. And the way that you mother with grace and patience and repentance is a direct reflection of His heart and His work within you. This makes me think of in Genesis when Hagar, who's the servant of Sarah, encounters God after fleeing into the wilderness. She's at the lowest of her life. She has been shunned literally out into a deserted area, and she encounters God, and she says that He is the God who sees her. Now, I don't know how to speak Hebrew, but El Roi is what she calls Him, and it's this descriptive name for God, which highlights His awareness and attention to His people, even in difficult circumstances. And the word Roi can be translated as well as shepherd, which just further shows God's care and protection for us and how much He is keeping us and hemming us. I'm going to share a real weak moment with all of you that really made me question whether or not I was cut out for this. We recently weaned my son from breastfeeding, and I am very happy to report that he has become a fantastic nighttime sleeper. But I will give this as a caveat to all of my desperate for sleep but breastfeeding mamas. Please don't give up on breastfeeding just for the sake of getting your little one to sleep. Obviously, everyone needs to do what works best for their family, but I do not regret all those sleepless nights that were caused from still breastfeeding my son. Those were some sacred and holy moments, and I already miss them. We've only been done nursing for 2 weeks, and I so desperately long to have those days back. So that's my encouragement, that you've got this, keep going. They will sleep eventually. Don't throw out breastfeeding just for the sake of sleep if you don't need to. But as I was saying, he has become such a great nighttime sleeper, often sleeping completely through the night, which is completely transformative of what it had been. But he nursed to sleep, so it has been quite the challenge to figure out a way to comfort and soothe him and get him actually asleep. Like I said, once he's asleep, he's pretty good for the night, but getting him to sleep and getting him in the crib is one of the hardest parts right now of figuring out this post-breastfeeding life. And oftentimes, he is very uncomfortable when we are holding and rocking him. And I don't know if it's a body work issue or if it's just because he wants to be soothed the way he's used to by nursing, or a combination of both. But it has been really hard to even soothe him. He really rejects us holding him and rocking him, and it's just been hard. And we've been learning some tips and tricks, things that he prefers, how we pat him and where, and things like that. But oftentimes when it has been a long time of trying to get him down for a nap or for bedtime, I have been losing my patience and my capacity to handle a squirmy, heavy baby who is flailing around. And then on top of that, there are of course the times where he's overtired and is just screaming and upset. And in my logical mind, I understand that. And I'm like, okay, I get it. You're tired. I would be screaming too. You're uncomfortable. That makes sense. But in the moment, I'm not thinking logically, and I feel so overwhelmed. I have found myself trying to cut through his screams or his unsettled body by yelling the word hey at him, like he's gonna understand. Now, of course, I know that he does not understand that. And of course, I know that that is not going to fix the situation. And every single time I do it, I feel terrible that I raised my voice and tried to calm him down by being louder than him. Just that I had to raise my voice out. That's what my natural instinct was, to get some sort of control. It's just really been wrecking me. And I've been going to the Lord about it and just praying through it and repenting of it, because I don't want to be a mother that is feeling angry and begrudgingly going through her day and feeling this way. And I also don't want to be a mother that raises my voice or that is trying to always be in control. And I think that this recent thing that I've been experiencing and wrestling with has really just been, the Lord has been using to help me grow in appreciating the sacred role of motherhood. And this has been just revealing to me God's heart for mothers and the reality that I am going to feel like I don't have control. I am going to feel like I don't know what to do. I am going to feel impatient. It would be silly to assume that I wouldn't experience those things, because I am not perfect and I am not God. But what beautiful truth we have, knowing that in our weakness, He is strong. That while we are not enough, Christ is always enough. And so that is a truth that I have been clinging onto and reminding myself that I am a mother on purpose, for purpose. My son was not born by accident. God did not accidentally create him and give him to me, but it was a divine decision and appointment, and I get to live in that wonderful blessing. Even though I am weak, even though I am not in control and I don't have the answers and whatever other thing that I am going to not be perfect in, God is not surprised by that. God sees me in that. God sees me through that. And I get to rely on Him to give me strength. If this encouraged you, would you let me know in the comments? I would love to hear how God is meeting you in your season of motherhood. Don't forget to subscribe for more weekly encouragement on biblical motherhood, homemaking, and living simply for His glory. I'll see you next time.